Welcome back to Star Trek Online, everybody. I am your host, the Housecoat Gamer. It's time for that mission where I told you that time just doesn't like being screwed with.
The research teams in the Kiana system require your assistance. They have been running thousands of temporal incursion simulations of how to use the Krenim weapon. But I need an officer with field experience to evaluate the project and its feasibility. You will participate in a focus test of the most promising options. A blade cuts both ways. We must be sure that what this weapon can do to the Iconians does not cause greater harm to us.
Oh, the irony of that statement. And this, in case anyone is wondering, is the Alliance Battlecruiser, Khitomer class. Which is a Valiant. If lacking attempt to mix Klingon and Starfleet designs into one harmonious ship. Honestly, it just looks like a more stylish looking D7 or Vorcha with closer to Starfleet style nacelles and a head section that looks like a saucer section. Still, I appreciate the fact that they put a torpedo launcher just in front of the deflector dish. That screams all sorts of bad ideas. What if a torpedo explodes there? Suddenly you lose warp capability.
Welcome! We have been working with the Krenim to build both this facility and a weapon similar to the one developed by Anorax in the 22nd century. Captain Nog is running point for the Alliance, but teams from all across the Alpha and Beta quadrants are involved with the research. It's fascinating work, but there's a lot to do yet.
You think? I mean, this is dealing with advanced temporal theory, which you really shouldn't be working on. Where's my temporal shields?
Captain Nog might be able to explain more. He's waiting for you. It's good to see you too. For a few weeks, I was helping the Alliance research new ways to deactivate Iconian gateways. We were making progress, but it wasn't fast enough to stop the advance of the Heralds. After Captain Nog made contact with the Krenim, I asked to transfer here. Now I'm working with interdimensional resonance harmonics to help recreate Anorax's work. Yes, I have. I guess the Solanae aren't visiting me at night anymore. Or maybe it's the 14-hour days trying to wrap my brain around complex temporal equations that are wearing me out. Either way, my sleep is greatly improved. Thank you for asking. Welcome, Captain Nog.
Alright, let's talk to Nog. And see what sort of nonsense we're going to be dealing with today. Other than the beginning, I really don't like the Iconian War arc. Time in a Bottle is an exception. At least that one was...
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to make a prototype of the Krenim weapon in Anorax's records, but we have not attempted to use it yet. Time isn't something you mess around with, so we have been conducting simulations here of possible incursions, as well as developing new ways to protect and store data on various timelines.
Time is not something you mess with? Why are you even doing this? Seriously, just give me temporal shields. Then we're fine. Then we can just go slaughter the Iconian Herald fleets and be done with it. Let's keep Anorax as the last resort, just to make them understand.
When we talk about time alteration, we're specifically referring to the Krenim weapon's ability to remove something from time. Anything, from a single molecule to an entire civilization. It's as if the target of the weapon never existed at all.
And nobody deserves this level of power. No one.
Correct. The changes ripple out from the incursion point and result in a new reality where the target no longer exists. This does mean that the ship must be able to fire on a target. The details are a bit more complex, of course, but that's the main difference from conventional time travel. Temporal agents from all three factions are watching everything we do carefully. That's one of the reasons we're running holodeck simulations first. Between you and me, I'm glad they're here. The Krenim are a little too eager to use the weapon. Time manipulation is a very delicate operation under the best of circumstances. We can't just start shooting things out of existence and hoping it all works out for the best.
Which led to the year of hell. Right before Time had decided, you know what, I've had enough. Janeway, kamikaze, please. The Krenim seem to think that this is the miracle cure for all their ails. Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. Your Imperium's dead. Get over it.
I wish I was seeing you under better... That was the first simulation we tried. The results were fairly catastrophic.
Fairly?
Without the Iconians, the first development of warp technology by other cultures in the Alpha Quadrant is severely delayed, by about 50,000 years. Removing the Iconians would change everything we know.
Okay, so that's a bad idea.
Let me put it this way. In one version, the Day Ones eventually rise to power and conquer most of the Beta Quadrant. They are forced back by the Vulcans, who never embrace logic, and later enslave much of what is now Federation and Klingon space.
Okay, that's not a good thing. That is a very bad thing, in fact.
I'm not done yet. The Herc never develop warp technology at all, so they never invade Kronos and unite the Klingons as a warrior culture. When the Vulcan Star Empire finds the Klingons in the 22nd century, they were mostly farmers who had made some advances in epic poetry. By the present day in this simulation, the Vulcan Star Empire is locked in a to-the-death struggle with the Dominion.
I think we get the idea.
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. Oh, that the Iconians can't time travel because it unravels their minds. She was being dramatic, but she was essentially correct. When most humanoids time travel, they retain the memories of their timeline of origin. So you realize when things have changed. Iconians are at least partially energy beings. You saw that when Matara was able to use her own power to open gateways. And their brain structure is very different from other humanoids. As far as we understand, if an Iconian traveled back in time, their mind and memories would reshape to fit that time. So they would retain no memories of the present. They don't use time travel because it would literally be taking a step backwards. I wish I was seeing you under better... Once we make an incursion, anything not protected by a temporal shield will conform to the new timeline. That includes all of us once this mission is over. We won't remember the Iconians, the war, or anything that changes in the new timeline. Clouda has been leading the work to create a shielded computer core to hold all the data we currently have. A time capsule, I guess you'd call it.
It's not like the core would need to be shielded forever. Just enough to go, okay, here's the information. Download it into another non-shielded computer system. The information is preserved. It's very simple. It's just like... How do I use a modern example? Copy-pasting something from one file to another.
Correct. This isn't the sort of sacrifice we'd expect any personnel involved in the incursion to make. So we've built a computer to retain the information for us. We'll know what happened before, even though it essentially will have happened to someone else. I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've tried a different number of scenarios, but only in the holodeck. Direct action against the Iconians is proving to be problematic, because so much time has passed since they were first a great power. Incursions that far back in time must be carefully planned, or the fallout of even minor changes can ripple across reality. We have, however, seen some promise in trying to delay their arrival. Actually, it would be closer to a 700-year delay if our calculations are correct. The Iconians have had 200,000 years to build their fleets, but we're catching up to them. We've already seen what the 29th century technology can do. Imagine what we'll have in the 32nd century.
If STD has their way, that would be nothing. Seriously, we've all seen the trailers by now.
Exactly. The other potential solution is to cut into the current power base. What if the Iconians never allied with the Alachi or the Solanae? We wouldn't be facing the trouble we do now. The three most promising incursions each follow one of these tactics. My teams have been running simulations and refining their targets, but I'd like you to assist them using a special quantum recursive algorithm. Our simulators can run the outcome of a possible incursion on the holodeck. Interacting with that simulation will give us more data than just crunching the numbers. We need to really interact with it to see what reality would look like, and for that, I need someone like you with field experience.
And this is going to end horribly. Because messing with the timeline... I'd rather go with the devil I know than the devil I don't.
Hello. Please allow me to explain what we're doing here. We've determined that if we remove a specific series of stars from the Beta Quadrant in the distant past, a rogue planet will enter the Iconia system and cause massive geological damage at about the same time the planet was bombarded by the Iconians' enemies. The technological buildup of the orbital bombardment that destroyed the Iconian civilization will still happen, but the Iconians themselves will have to deal with a natural disaster, not a war.
Let nature do its work? I can see the appeal. To a point.
Maybe the survivors of a natural disaster, if there are any, won't be so vengeful, and none of the stars we will remove have planets with the possibility of developing life. The overall effect on the galaxy is minimal. It's a painful path, but it could be the one that leads to peace.
This is rather extreme, ain't it?
The number of stars we will have to remove is a concern, which is why we're trying this in a simulation first. But as Captain Nog said, these simulations aren't perfect, so we have devised a holodeck program that will expand and extrapolate on possible effects of the temporal incursion.
These people are a little too eager to use the weapon ship. Seriously, why aren't you guys just developing temporal shields?
It's the best option we have available to us. The holodeck's algorithms have been updated to change and adapt to the data created by the simulated timeline alteration. This is not your average holo novel. Once we run the program, you'll be able to interact with our best approximation of the new timeline. Interaction with the holodeck components will allow the program to generate a more in-depth solution and give us a better idea of what to expect. We have set this simulation on a Federation starship patrolling the Sol system, and you are the captain. If all goes as planned, we expect that almost everything in the system should be close to current reality.
You would think so. Unfortunately, I am all too versed in the nonsense of temporal manipulation. No, come on! Why would I be on the bridge of a Defiant?
Captain, you're alive! We repelled the intruders on the bridge, but the ship has taken heavy damage, and a lot of the crew are injured.
Why do I have a bad feeling about this?
Sir, I'm not sure this is the time. So many people are hurt, and most of the systems are offline. The life support is on backups, and our resources are down to nothing, and...
Talk to me, lady.
The Dominion stopped firing at us when we lost weapons. Now they're focusing on Earth's defense grid, but it's only a matter of time before they return to finish us off.
Oh, great. The Dominion.
Sir, I tried to fight them off. The boarding parties. The Gem Radar. We have to stop the Dominion. They can't take Earth too.
Great! So the Dominion War is even worse.
I never expected they would get so far into our defenses. I'm sorry, Captain. I just need a moment. Then I'll be ready to fight.
Lovely. Just freaking lovely.
We can't stop them. Maybe if we hadn't been at war with the Romulans. Maybe if the Klingons hadn't ripped themselves apart. I'll be fine, Captain. Just rattle.
Incoming hail!
Oh boy.
USS Ajax. Sensors show your ship is completely defenseless, and I would prefer not to delay our arrival at Earth to deal with such a minor annoyance. Surrender now, and I will guarantee the safety of your crew.
Screw you. I hate Morta. Alright, let's see how things have gone. 3... Oh my god. Well, that was a complete and utter disaster. The Dominion screwed us over. Again, I'd rather go with the devil I know than the devil I don't.
Sorry, we were watching from the control room, and that could have gone better.
You think?
Even with all that, the simulation data on whether the Iconians were entirely eliminated from that timeline is inconclusive. We were able to record your interactions, and we've been able to piece together what happened from those. From what we can piece together, the Klingon Empire was never unified by its conflicts against outsiders, and the great houses turned on one another instead. The Romulans took the chaos as an opportunity to attack. The Federation stepped in to help the Klingons, and the war between the three factions basically ripped the quadrant apart. The Dominion then conquered all three weakened powers.
That is not our solution. I would rather have the triplicate alliance we have now. The one that resulted in the ship I'm currently flying? Tee-hee. Tee-hee.
Agreed. My team will continue working on other possible incursion scenarios.
Alright, let's talk to the beta people. Oh. You. This is not gonna end well.
Another one of you Voyagers? I don't know how you can help, but very well. My team is working on scenarios that reduce the Iconian power base. We are attempting to do so by fixing a mistake that Janeway allowed to happen decades ago. We're going to stop the Vaadwaur from being rediscovered. We plan to do this by preventing Voyager from ever coming into contact with underspace. This will prevent them from finding Vaadwaur Prime, and 7 of 9 will never wake the Vaadwaur.
Oh, great. I completely forgot about Noi, and how much he likes to blame Starfleet for the Imperium's problems. I'm sorry, but your civilization was already starting to die. I think it's time you accepted that.
No, but you're all the same. You come to our quadrant, meddle in affairs that don't concern you and that you don't understand, and leave chaos in your wake. Now, you want us to help you alter time. Tell me, does that sound like something someone like you should be doing?
You are the least qualified person as well, Noi.
None of us are going to survive if we don't try to repair the damage you've already done. The goal is to cause a solar flare that will force Voyager to divert from the course it was on when it stumbled into underspace. If it safely passes without entering underspace, it can continue on its trip home and bypass the Vaadwaur entirely. The simulation is set for the USS Voyager, which is fitting since they caused the problem in the first place. Our projections show that even if the Vaadwaur never return, your people will still find a reason to stick your noses into our business. So, we're attempting to see how the elimination of the Vaadwaur will change the formation of the Delta Alliance. You will be a member of the diplomatic team.
Someone's a little bit better.
Don't mind Noi. I think he partially blames people from your quadrant for some of the Krennin's troubles. After all, if Voyager hadn't restored the Vaadwaur, they would have never been in a position to ally with the Iconians. But there is no reason to dwell on past hurts. We're trying to fix what we can here, and then learn to accept the rest. Noi funnels that passion to help his people into his work. Perhaps it will change everything.
Like I said, the Terrae are completely responsible for this nonsense. If they hadn't insisted on boarding Voyager and just let them go on their way, the Vaadwaur would never have been revived. Fortunately, I know better than to try and rewrite history. Unlike some people...
It is a pleasure to meet you. Both Captain Nog and Seven speak highly of you. My name is Claudia, and I am a Tutarian. We're from a region of the Delta Quadrant Voyager never visited, so we haven't had much contact with species from the Alpha and Beta quadrants until now. However, my world has had close ties with the Krenim for several years. Now that they are actively pursuing temporal technology, I chose to join them and lend whatever assistance I can. I miss my home, but I've made a new one here. Meeting Noi has opened me up to a world beyond my own. It is a pleasure to meet you. Both Captain Nog, don't mind Noi. It is a pleasure to meet you. I was on Kiana Prime with Noi when we received word of the Vaadwaur attacks. We had only hours to get the temporal equipment running and remove the population from the time stream. Since then, the focus of my work has been developing more stable data storage. We can see into other timelines, but we need a way to secure the data through temporal shifts, so we can preserve information about incursions and their effects. In the case of a catastrophic shift, that data could be used as a map to restore the timeline.
That's very nice.
It is a pleasure.
Meaning, if everything goes wrong, we can just restore the timeline and be done with it. And then we can report back saying it didn't work. So let's stop with the incursion nonsense and develop temporal shielding, shall we? Oh. This isn't good.
This is an absolute disaster. I had thought that Admiral Tuvok was being pessimistic about the chance for success here. But now, I think he was right.
Oh, what's going on now?
No, it's not. The hierarchy started setting these people against one another before Admiral Tuvok and his team could start to pull them together. The very fact that they all agreed to be in the same room is a minor miracle.
The hierarchy? This is going to end poorly.
Eventually. Between Vulcan logic, Klingon tenacity, and Romulan pragmatism, we'll convince everyone here that the threat is real, and an alliance is in their best interest. But it won't be easy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I see I have another argument to break up.
Oh, this is just freaking great.
We've always tried to be good neighbors and treat other races with respect, but this is really too much. The Malon are using our system as a dump, and their trash isn't our problem.
Great. Just great. I fixed everything in the other timeline, and now Noi is screwing everything up again. Krenim. They don't seem to get it.
I should be shouting. I'm upset. The Malon are trying to force us off our beautiful new planet so they can turn it into something toxic. How would you like it if someone treated your ship like a garbage scow?
People have insulted my boats before. I've insulted my boats before.
We've always tried to be good neighbors and treat up. The Malon claim the hierarchy are harassing them, but they're targeting our ships too. So I don't know what to believe. But there are rumors, traitor talk, you know how it is. But I've heard it a lot lately. They say the hierarchy are capturing people and selling them to another race for experiments, or as food.
Or as breeding stock for the Alachi. Great, so the hierarchy have taken the Vodwar's place. Without the hierarchy, everything's going to go straight down the gutter. You know what, I'm just not going to bother with this part. I'll let you listen to all the dialogue, but I am going... fuming off mic.
We've always tried to be good neighbors and treat other... The Malon might not be the biggest threat, but they are the most immediate. Wait until they start dumping their trash in your front yard, and see how you like it.
Are you here to preach about responsible waste management too? You can save it. I have a commitment to my people and my planet that supersedes any other concerns. I don't want to talk about the hierarchy. They're nothing but trouble. That's part of the reason we're looking for new dumping grounds. I've lost too many ships in the past year. Half a generation of valuable and desperately needed haulers. They're just gone. And I know the hierarchy is to blame. Are you here to... How dare you dictate how we should behave? The disposal of hazardous waste is a noble sacrifice my people make on behalf of their families. Who are you to cheapen their sacrifice? What we do is none of your business. Are you here to... We don't need outsiders telling us what to do. If the Talaxians want to talk, they can come to us directly.
The Malon have resisted attempts to accept less hazardous waste management practices and continue dumping waste throughout the quadrant. The most at-risk populations are the Talaxians, who have a new colony close to Malon dumping grounds. The Malon have moved into Talaxian space to avoid hierarchy attacks. Diplomatic relations between the Malon and Talaxians are rapidly deteriorating. The Malon have accused the Talaxians of working with the hierarchy, a charge the Talaxians strenuously deny. The Benthans could possibly pressure the Malon to return to the negotiation table.
Yes, what is your question? I am rather busy. The Hazari are stepping up their smuggling operations, and the hierarchy's new drive for profits has created a significant increase in attacks on unaligned transports. We have enough to do at the moment without getting into a dispute that doesn't concern us. The hierarchy is harassing our supply lines, and I'm convinced they're behind the losses we've taken over the past 3 months. We're having to double up patrols, which means we're leaving holes the Hazari can slip through. The Malon are a headache we don't need. Yes, what is your question? We have enough to do with them. Yes, the hierarchy's surveillance measures are the best in the quadrant. And that's left us more exposed than I would like. We're losing ships. Once or twice we found debris with hierarchy weapon signatures. But they're cautious. It's like they can smell traps. Yes, what is your question? Good luck with that. The Hazari aren't interested in anything but making deals. This whole meeting is just a waste of time. Unity might work where you come from, but I don't have any reason to cooperate with criminals like the Hazari or thugs like the hierarchy. What do you want? Did the Benthans make you one of their little deputies? Or was it the Malon? Before everyone broke ties with the hierarchy, they told us what people say about us. Mercenaries. Honorless. Ha! They all deny it. But we know. Now we look out for ourselves. No.
We need to make a living, same as the rest of you. If the Benthans would take out the hierarchy on our borders, we wouldn't be forced to move into Benthan space. But no, they won't do that. They don't think mercenaries rate protection. What do you want, troublemakers? They make our jobs harder and easier. They watch everyone. We used to trade for information from them, but now they won't sell. If we can capture one of their ships, it's like a treasure hoard of information. Makes hunting bounties real easy. But it's harder to take out their ships. I hear they're getting upgrades. And it's not just their ships. Stories going around about one captain whose arm was ripped off by a hierarchy commander. Used to be they'd run from fights. Now they start them. What do you? Fine. Run back to the Benthans. I'll be here if you want to talk business.
Unraveling this mess could take months, years.
The number of planets the hierarchy have taken outright has increased 20% over the past 6 months. A push for higher profits has prompted steady growth of hierarchy territory. Reports of abductions in areas near hierarchy space have increased by 77.2%. However, this data has not been confirmed by outside sources because few Delta Quadrant species are willing to share information with the Federation. Further investigation is needed.
Ambassador's log, stardate 87234.5. Our allies in the Kiana system have been invaded by hierarchy forces. The Kiana colony is a small farming community with no strategic value, so the attack simply doesn't make sense. According to one survivor we managed to find, the hierarchy were working with the Ilachi. The Ilachi took captives to an unknown location.
So, that was a freaking disaster. We need the hierarchy on side. More proof that this temporal incursion nonsense is just a bad idea.
Damn, that was useless. The Iconians were so determined to have a hold here that they simply found another species to fit the bill. Maybe if you had been a better negotiator, you would have been able to unite those representatives against the hierarchy. Then, at least we would have had a chance.
No, we wouldn't have. I believe it's the hierarchy that actually brought everyone together. After all, if the hierarchy is working together with the Alpha Quadrant species, blackmail. It's dirty, but it works.
This scenario isn't as catastrophic as trying to remove the Iconians, but it's not exactly ideal either. We'll have to try something else.
Like temporal shielding?
You must excuse my husband's harsh demeanor. This has been a very trying time for the Krenim. Thank you for helping us get this far. We'll keep working.
Trust my wife to be the voice of reason. Perhaps I was too hard on you. I just want to be able to fix all of this. We can't turn back time, but we can change it. Please speak to Gamma Team. Captain Nog thinks very highly of their plan.
Hello. We've been waiting for you. Our team is focusing on delaying tactics. What if Iconia had never been discovered? In 2365, Captain Donald Varley of the USS Yamato found a star chart on Denias 3 that revealed the location of Iconia. I want to redirect a meteor to impact the archaeological site on Denias 3 before Captain Varley begins his excavations. Iconia will remain a myth, And we will not attract the Iconians' attention as early as we did.
8 years later, another one was found in the Gamma Quadrant by the Dominion. Actually, now that I think about it, that would be an actually better option. Let the Iconians attack the Dominion first. Hey, I'm not the one that found the gateway. They did. Deal with them. We'll just stay here and pick off whoever wins.
True. But if you compare the changes in Iconian technology over the past 200,000 years with what the rest of us have done in the past 2 centuries, it's obvious that the Iconian culture has stagnated while we have advanced rapidly. Additionally, there are other factors in play that could trigger the alliances and sharing of technology that have come about because of the Iconian threat. It's a risk, but it's one that could pay off.
No. No. Just no. Temporal incursion, bad idea. Go with temporal shielding. Having the ability to be nigh invulnerable would be a plus.
The program is set for Romulan space. Because the Hobus supernova was caused by direct Iconian interference, we expect Romulus to be intact in this new reality. As such, the Romulan Star Empire should once again be a major power in the quadrant. Your role will be as an officer on a Romulan warbird.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do not restore the Romulan Star Empire. And this isn't because of Starfleet. The Star Empire sucks.
Yes, to call it a huge change would be an understatement. Please be aware that nothing will be done unless the Republic agrees this is the best possible solution. There is already a team here working on the possible restoration of Romulus, and Commander Jirok has been authorized to speak for the Republic if needed. The fact that our data shows delaying the Iconian arrival will also save Romulus is an interesting coincidence, but it does not mean we will accept the solution without looking at other options.
I really, really, really do not want to do this. But these guys just won't quit. Ooh. Scimitar-class warbird. There's Khitomer.
Ah, Sub-Commander. I'd like to test out some new security passcodes, if you would be so kind as to seal the doors and disable certain, equipment. We need to talk.
Oh. Well, it's nice to see Khitomer again after the bombing. Oh, look at that, a Tal Shiar listening device. Here's what I think of that. Frankly, I would have just kicked it, but it'll do.
Thank you for playing along, Sub-Commander. The Tal Shiar can't hear us now. I need to talk to you about Datan and the Separatists. They've been located near the Dewa system. What we do next could change our future. Datan has been inspired by Spock's teaching. He and many others have left the homeworld and are gathered together in a flotilla somewhere near Tau Dewa. Datan and his allies have been making overtures of peace to both the Federation and the Klingons. Because of this, they have enough support that even the Tal Shiar won't take direct action against them. The Borg are at our borders. The Empire can't fight the Collective and the Separatists at the same time.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about that.
Thank you for playing along, Subcom. If I was, I wouldn't have needed you to lock the door. I intend to put Lieutenant Silan in the brig and then take this ship and crew to join the Separatists. Are you with me?
Of course I'm with you.
I know. I have tried to work within the system, but the system is broken and corrupt. Datan and his people are building something better. You and I both know it. The crew knows it. We will take this warbird to Datan, and we will finally be free.
It's a shame Gaius is a Tal Shiar agent in this timeline. No Borg implants. That explains something.
Secret conversations between the commander and one of his senior officers? Very suspicious. Loyal citizens of the Romulan Star Empire have no need for locked doors.
Oh, that's what you think.
Khitomer, you are a fool, and you will be the death of everyone on this ship. Datan and his people are terrorists. If you join them, you will share their fate.
And you will share ours.
My friends, it is time we forge our own destiny.
A destiny free from the tyranny of the Tal Shiar.
If we leave, we will have a better, brighter future
than what they would allow us.
I know this is a step into the unknown,
but it is
a step we will take together. Throw off your chains. We will join our brothers and sisters in freedom.
Another thing they need to fix. Let's talk to the con officer.
I wanted to let you know that I am with you and Commander Khitomer. Some of my family has left Romulus to join Datan. I'll be proud to join them.
Rena Kev? Can't be sure, but sounds like her. Huh, higher Borg activity. That's never a good thing. Scan for Iconian activity. Huh. That's not good. I mean, Borg, that's never a good thing, right?
That is the most promising simulation yet. It appears there was some merit to our hypothesis that the Iconians advanced their plans due to early contact.
And everything went to hell because of the Borg. Remember when I said that the Borg are the ultimate threat? Well, looks like I was right.
The readings do indicate higher levels of Borg activity, but it should be an acceptable risk. The data in this simulation does show higher Borg activity than we're currently seeing, but there are no signs of Herald, Iconian, or Solanae presence at all. And while the Romulan Star Empire is restored to their former power, there is a democratic Romulan group opposing the Tal Shiar. And more importantly, Romulus is intact. This is the result many of our Romulan researchers have been trying to bring about.
This is a bad idea. I'd rather accept the destruction of Romulus than have more Borg flying around.
The political calculus of the quadrant will change, but the data supports what you saw on the holodeck. No Iconians. We have solid projections. The only suggestion I have now is that you consider it in conjunction with Captain Nog and the Republic representatives here.
I've already made my decision. I want nothing to do with it. Unfortunately, someone refuses to accept reality. Not a fan of Jirok at the moment. Or the Krenim, for wanting to go, here, temporal incursion this, temporal incursion that. Let's solve all our problems by screwing with the time stream. Nothing can go wrong. Sadly, I know better.
This last test has the most promising results I've seen, and saving the Romulan homeworld is an added bonus. We're not going to have a lot of shots at this. I've been looking at Anorex's work, and I think it's too easy to get into a temporal loop where you try again and again for a specific result, and time starts fighting back. I'm inclined to say this is our best chance. But this will have a huge impact on the reality we know, especially your people, Commander Jirok. I won't give my authorization without hearing from everyone.
Nog figured it out. Nog figured out why Anorax finally lost. He kept trying to restore Kiana Prime and kept failing.
This is difficult. It would change everything for us. We'd have our home back, but the Republic, everything we've built, it would all be gone. But there's still hope. Even in this other reality, Datan has led many Romulans away from Sela and her Tal Shiar thugs.
Who knows if Sela is even the Empress? For all you know, you have a proper praetor and stuff.
The simulation specifically mentioned Datan and a separatist movement. Commander Khitomer makes the choice to join Datan, the same choice he made after the homeworld was lost. With Romulus, we could have numbers. More people who have had enough of the Tal Shiar's oppression could join us. Maybe millions more. If Datan is able to get a movement going, even at the height of the Empire's power, I have to believe that change is possible.
No, don't say it. Don't even think about it.
Make the incursion. The lives we save will be worth the work we'll have to do to reform the Republic. The Tal Shiar wasn't able to stop us the first time. They won't stop us again.
No. We do not need to do this. This is a stupid idea. Don't do it. They're doing it, aren't they?
Target acquired and locked. Activating weapon. Incursion complete.
It will be good to see the world of my birth again.
Yeah, that's a cutscene that needs fixing. Huh?
Is that Romulus? It's been completely assimilated.
Well, that's not good.
Yes, I think we have a problem.
No. We expected to see some Borg activity, but this can't be right.
But it is. You wanted to do the incursion, Jirok. You wanted to change the timeline. Well, you got your wish. Here's Romulus. Enjoy your pain. I certainly do. Perhaps we should go back and restore the timeline. You know, just put that rock right where it was. Go and report. We tried. Everything went horribly. Romulus got assimilated. Let's give up on this temporal incursion nonsense and just develop temporal shielding?
I agree that this is unexpected, Commander, but we knew there would be anomalies. We need more information. Let's find out where the simulation might have gone wrong.
How about the fact that we did the incursion to begin with? Let's put that rock right where it was, go back to Kiana, and be done with it.
The whole system can't be assimilated, can it? That is a lot of Borg.
You haven't seen a lot of Borg. What you're seeing is a lot of Romulans. that have been turned into Borg. But yeah, this is really unnerving.
According to these scans, the planet has been completely assimilated. I'm not detecting any non-Borg life signs. This is bad. Really, really bad. We need to fix this.
We need to go back, put that rock back in place, run.
Borg ships decloaking. Red alert.
Oh.
First the Klingons, now the Borg. Does everyone still have technology from us?
Okay, one, Jirok, get your head out of your ass. Two, you gave the Klingons cloaking technology during the Alliance in the 2260s, 2270s.
Borg reinforcements on an intercept course.
You mean more cannon fodder? Whoa. That's kind of terrifying. I'm not even using my best equipment either when it comes to anti-proton. So, yes, that's kind of scary. That being said,
we need more information before we can fix this. I'll keep the Krenim ship well out of Borg sensor range while you go in and find out what happened. Hurry. More Borg will be arriving soon.
Wrong! Put that rock back where it was. Now. It's faster, it's simpler. Occam's razor, you stupid Ferengi. There's nothing we can learn from Romulus. But no one listens to me. No one listens to me.
I've modified some personal shield generators to shield you temporally as well. I'm transporting them over now. Hurry! The temporal shielding drains a lot of power. You won't have much time down there before you're unprotected. If that happens, this will be your new reality.
This wouldn't be. We wouldn't have to go down there if we would just put that rock back in place. There is such a thing as a temporal rewind button. But no one wants to listen to me. The simplest option is often the best.
We need more data to plot a possible solution. With any luck, the Borg will have what we need. Maybe. Our focus is on restoration. There is a computer node in this area of the Unimatrix that should have what we need. Find the node and download all the data you can from the point where we made our incursion. That should help us find out how to fix this.
We already know how to fix this. Keep that rock from slamming into that site and be done with it. No more pulling anoraks. We do it my way. And my way is temporal shielding.
I'm going to join you. I know this place. Or at least I knew this place. Before we lost the homeworld, it was a Tal Shiar complex. Most of the secrets of our empire were stored here. I thought I was getting my home back, but now the Borg have taken it all away. This is like losing Romulus all over again.
And I enjoy your pain.
The controls ahead of us will unlock the bulkheads.
Because you screwed up.
The whole planet. All our people. They're Borg.
But they are dead. Alright, this is post Borg update mission, so I'm gonna be running into nanite bombs, aren't I?
I can't believe we were so wrong.
Yeah, this is why you go. Yeah, this is why you listen to the conservative.
Cover me! I'll override the door controls.
Instead of going for the radical option, you go for the option that doesn't screw everyone over. The timeline should not be messed with. Ever. Time travel should only be used for research purposes.
We have to find a way to make this right.
I already know how to make this right. Unfortunately, none of you want to accept that answer.
Resistance is futile.
None of you want to accept it.
There. That's the access node console we need. Locked. We'll have to circumvent their security measures. Wait! Incoming Borg!
Great. Nanite hooks. I really hate whoever decided to put nanite hooks as a Borg ability. They are already enough of a pain. Oh, no you don't. Well, I may as well remodulate and get rid of this cold nonsense. Why do I even have that popping up?
When we lost the homeworld, I thought that was the worst thing that could happen to us.
I only use kinetic weapons against the Borg. It's the, whoa boy, smart option. Because, contrary to what everyone thinks, kinetic energy weapons can kill Borg. Just ask Worf. I mean, the first Borg kill, that doesn't involve a starship, was him rifle-butting a Borg drone out of its alcove. And after they adapted, he rifle-butted another Borg into submission. And then the most famous scene on the deflector dish, where he used a mek'leth to kill one. No. Whoever's peddling the nonsense that Borg are not immune to kinetic energy weapons really needs to watch the show. Borg shields never react to kinetic impacts, only energy. Because nobody uses kinetic energy weapons. They only use directed energy weapons, because nobody wants to punch a hole through the hull. And that's what kinetic energy weapons will do.
This was Romulan technology once, but it's been completely assimilated. Hakiv?
You will become one with the Borg. Resistance is futile.
Oh, that's nice. I get to kill Hakiv. Unfortunately for these guys, I have plenty of anti-Borg equipment. Shame the assimilate thing won't work on them. But like I said, they're not immune to kinetic energy weapons. The Thompson submachine gun thing, that was kinetic energy, not light. Because if it worked that way, then lasers would be the most effective weapon against the Borg. They aren't. Open temporal records. Oh. Well, that's not good.
It looks like the main invasion of Romulan space occurred about 20 years ago. Something happened in the Delta Quadrant. The Borg assimilated something that greatly improved their technology. They adapted, evolved, and my people, they didn't have a chance. Maybe it's our fate to lose Romulus.
And maybe it's time you get over it. Accept it. You're never getting Romulus back.
Let's get out of here. There are more than 20 Borg ships on an intercept course.
Look at that. Better the devil you know. Maybe we can just reverse this by putting that rock back in space, letting everything play out as it should have, as it did before. It is the faster way.
More Borg on the way.
Much faster.
Borg decloaking.
Oh, hello. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jirok. It's assimilate this.
Transmit the data! Hurry! We're under attack! Quick!
Can't you just... Oh my god.
We're losing power! Send the data now before we lose temporal shielding!
You... Oh my... Why aren't you using the temporal shielding that Anorax used to make himself immune to conventional weapons?
Focus on your repairs. We will make sure the data is preserved.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Data is compressed and ready.
Just surrounded by them.
Communications link is ready. Secure channel confirmed.
Data received!
The Borg may never be able to reach them.
It is a great risk. The Borg have a great deal of influence on the timeline. There is no time to run simulations. We do not.
Yes, you do. Go back and put that rock in place.
Targeting the transwarp network.
Firing the weapon! Now!
The Borg are gone. But so is Romulus.
As it should be.
Romulus isn't the only thing we lost. Temporal shielding is failing.
What happened?
The Borg did too much damage to the generators. If we lose the temporal shielding, we'll all reintegrate with the timeline.
Has anything else changed?
Checking? No. The Tutarians. They're gone!
How?
I see the problem. 20 years ago, your people tried to replicate the work of the Solanae to protect themselves from the Borg. They failed.
Temporal shield is at 8%.
No, I need to restabilize the shields.
I'm downloading my personal files into the shielded core. You'll have all my research notes and everything we've recorded from this mission.
You're giving up. When the shield fails, if the Tutarians were lost in the past, then you'll be lost too.
Temporal shield is losing integrity.
Is there anything we can do?
No, we all knew the risks. I love...
Welcome back to Star Trek Online, everybody. I am your host, the Housecoat Gamer. Today we're dealing with Krenim temporal nonsense. That's odd. It's very odd. Where is everybody? Oh, I see clipping. That's bad. Cryptic. I realize you were rushed, but still.
We found a temporally shielded computer core, and it shows 2 uses of the Krenim weapon. But as far as I know, the Iconians are still out there. We changed the timeline, but we didn't fix our most important problem.
Well, I hope we learned something from it. That screwing with time is a stupid idea.
We won't be sure until we finish analyzing the data, but the Krenim weapon was used twice. I remember being on the bridge of the Krenim ship and seeing a readout with a far lower power reserve than had just been there a moment before. I'm sure you had a similar situation.
Kind of. I remember me screaming something about how stupid of an idea this was. And Romulus. Something about Romulus.
As to the greater differences, we'll know more soon. I only hope the ripples from what we did today don't start a tsunami. We found a temporally... We haven't dug that far into the data yet, and it will take some in-depth investigation to catalog all of the changes. Noi is going to lead the group taking care of that. I will say it is odd to find personal logs I don't remember making.
Welcome to Voyager's predicament.
Very. But from what we've already seen, it appears the reason the weapon was fired twice was because we had to try to correct a change we made. Technology like this seems so simple, but even the smallest change can make more trouble than it solves. We have to be more cautious. Far more cautious than we've already been, I suppose. The next mistake might not be fixable. Time alteration might not be the answer. There are some problems that can't be solved with a weapon. But time travel... Look, whatever happens, it was good working with you. I hope we have the chance to do so in the future.
Very well, Nog. Let's talk to everyone that's involved here.
I was conducting another simulation, and all of a sudden I got an emergency call telling me to stop everything. I will be looking at whatever data we managed to save to try and determine what went wrong. Maybe we can try again after we know more.
No. Messing with time is a mistake.
It has been good to have you here, but we will have to consider if time alteration is really the best course of action. Of all the records we have of time travel, few have as drastic a result as this. Perhaps removing elements from the time stream isn't the solution we need.
You realize that.
We put so much hope into using the Krenim technology to solve our problems. Perhaps I was caught up in the possibilities and blind to the potential for disaster. We tried and we failed. But this isn't the end. We'll keep looking at the simulations, as well as any other option open to us. I have to have faith that we will find a way to defeat the Iconians.
I do remember something about you suffering. It involves Romulus somehow. Didn't you used to just have a goatee?
I have a lot of information to analyze. The shielded core appears to have made it through the process intact, and will give us a wealth of data on the timeline and how the changes have affected it. Clearly, you made a mistake somewhere. I still feel this is the best technology available to us, but we will need minds sufficient to the task to operate it.
I get the feeling that you are responsible for this entire mess. But I can't put my finger on as to why I would feel that way. I'm sure we'll figure it out further down the line.
Captain Nog tells me that the initial test of the Krenim weapon was less than promising. He says that he and his team have a great deal of data still to analyze. But I do not believe they will find much that will assist us. Removing elements from the time stream is reckless, and while our options are limited, we should not destroy ourselves in a fruitless effort to destroy the Iconians. It is time to consider all of our alternatives.
That is the smartest thing you have ever said, Cogran. Housecoat Gaming, signing off.